fusion of fire and culture. Pabalugala as a center for ancient glass beads productions in early historic period of Sri Lanka. The lecturer is Professor Mangala Katugampola. He's a distinguished archaeologist with over 25 years of experience in research, heritage management, and dissemination of knowledge. Professor Katugampola graduated from the University of Kelaniya with a BA in archaeology and acquired a Master of Philosophy from the Postgraduate Institute of Archaeology. And he received a doctorate from the Sichuan University of China, so fluent Chinese speaker and Chinese technology. And then Professor Katugampola integrated traditional field archaeology with advanced GIS and spatial analysis and leads major international projects such as Manthai and Pabalugala while mentoring emerging scholars. He's the consultant director of archaeology at Wayamba Cultural Quadrangle, my colleague. So I am the consultant director on architecture conservation. So we are working together at the site, Wayamba Cultural Quadrangle. And yesterday and day before, we were jointly carrying out the research and dissemination of knowledge in Wayamba Cultural Quadrangle, Yapahuwa, and Panuvasnuvara, and returned last night together. Professor Katugampola is an advisor to the National Department of Archaeology and previous head, Department of Archaeology at the University of Kelaniya and Department of Information Technology, University of Kelaniya again. And he is the Director, Center for Heritage Studies. So over to you, Professor Katugampola.
Thank you very much, Professor Manadu. Good evening, everyone. One of the great teachers, he was the first to invite me to deliver this lecture. I would also like to thank Professor Chandrasekhara and the National Trust for providing me with this meaningful platform to share my thoughts with you. Today, I will discuss and share newly found valuable evidence about Sri Lankan ancient technology, including recent archaeological findings about ancient glass bead production in early historic Sri Lanka. So my topic is fusion of fire and the culture. Pabalugala as a center for ancient glass bead production in early historic Sri Lanka. This topic explores how ancient communities used fire, like controlled heating, firing clay, or melting glass, and how those fire-based practices shaped their daily lives, craft, and traditions, how influenced by their culture. Fire enabled people to make tools, pottery, jewellery, and durable goods. It's also influenced social routines, rituals, and the transmission of skill across the generations. Historically, ancient cultural heritage that date back 2,500 years. The ruins of ancient kingdom and archaeological findings provide fascinating insight into sophisticated ancient society that posed advanced knowledge of science and technology, town planning and design, and the valued aesthetic beauty of the art. Within this sophisticated culture, ancient beads can be found at archaeological sites throughout the country. Actually, it's a common artifact in the historical period in Sri Lanka. The usage of ancient beads dates back thousands of years and can be traced across the various cultures and civilizations throughout the history. In ancient times, beads were used for different purposes. For example, adornment, trade and currency, religious and spiritual significance, funerary practices and burials. It is very, very important area. But today I'm not going to talk about this, because when we talk about this, I mean, especially Ibang Katua and such places, the beads history goes back to 6th century BC in Sri Lanka. But this is not a time to talk about that. But also personal expressions and identity. This one. In Sri Lanka, ancient literature sources provide that beads were used to decorate the ancient stupa. For example, Mahavansi is used as the main literary sources of the country. It's mentioned that people decorated and worshipped the stupa using beads like this. Actually, this is modern one, but we can imagine how they use that, because this is bulbs, but maybe in the ancient times, maybe they used just like this. We don't know exactly, but we got a lot of some experience. We know some experience we have from the ancient chronicles, which they mention like that way. When we talk about the site, Giribava, Pabalugala. Pabalugala is situated in the Kurunegala district, here. Actually, very nearby ancient capital of Anuradhapura. It's just like 40 kilometers away. This archaeological reservoir covers 33 acres. This is the red color area. And inside that premises, there is a paddy field. It's covered around 12 acres. Altogether, 33 acres belongs to this archaeological reservoir. Actually, I think, why they use Pabalugala, that word. I think you can understand why they use that word for that villages, because of the beads. When the rain is come, we can easily find a lot of beads on the surface at that area. Because of that, people used to use that name Pabalugala. In 2022, we started archaeological research in that area. Actually, our objective is very simple, but it consists a lot of things. It's like identify the archaeological extent of the site, and identify the technological process of the glass bead production in the ancient Sri Lanka, and identify the past human settlements pattern associated with this industry. Fourthly, provide proper timeline for the location. I think it's a very, very important thing. What is the date for this site? How can we date this site? So these are the main objective of our research at that time. Actually, we did intensive archaeological exploration around this 33 acres within this area. There are the findings, these are the findings we have found. All the materials relate with bead production. Oh, not bead, I mean, if I say glass production. First I can say glass production. These all are glass. Some are fragments of furnace, crucibles, and also beads. We have found a lot of beads in the surface, and potsherds. In 2022, the same year, we did a collaboration project with German and French scholars, has conducted preliminary survey and test pits over there at that time. In that research, we found actually these are the furnace. You can see that unfortunately when we go there, the people, I mean the treasure hunters, excavate before us this area. So these are the evidence for that. And fortunately we found another one place, it's here. It's not much disturbed at that time. So we decided to excavate here. In 2024, last year, again we excavated that, the furnace here. You can see that before start just like this. Oops. Sorry. Before start just like this, and after that it's come just like this way, and after finishing the excavation, the main furnace pit, it's just like this. The thing is, it's very, very huge size. If I say like this, diameter here 2.5 meters. It's a huge, just like for making breads, not for beads. Actually at that time we also think, why this much big? What is the purpose of using this type of furnace for the making beads? So time to time it's come a lot of questions with us at that time. Can you imagine the size of this furnace? Can you imagine it's the purpose of this size? I mean, this size of furnace, what they can do? So another interesting thing is, we couldn't find a lot of beads from the excavation. We found a lot of artifacts just like this. This relate with glass making, not beads. We found small amount of beads, but this is all related with glass making technology. So at that time we had another problem. I mean, it's one of the objective at that time. What is the date for this? So actually fortunately we got a date, radiocarbon dating. It's this furnace belongs to 2nd to 5th century AD. Now we clear that, but we need more information, because when we do research, we found a lot of beads. Some are more than old, so we still need to go further. But in the meantime, we conducted another geophysical survey, especially in the paddy area, this area. Actually 2022 also we did a geophysical survey with German team, but at that time I realized, no, we must need more evidence to prove this. So we are asking to Chinese team as well. In 2024 we did another geophysical survey around this, just only this paddy area, covers 12 acres. This is the result. You can see the red dots over here. They actually had the results from the geophysical survey. This anomaly is just like red color one, and here we mapped all the, actually these all are furnace. All are furnace. We got from this result from the geophysical survey, and I was wondered at that time, how can we believe this? So I just asked from them, because we are new to this technology. So I asked from them, can you show one very sensitive place for us? Then we can check this, is it correct or not? Actually, at that time he's not happy with me, but I said, this is the way, because this is new for us, for please do it for us. Then he showed one place around here, and we did small trench over there, very small one, not go further deep. We found one furnace there. So after that we realized, yes, this is true. So we have more than 50 furnaces only around here within this paddy field. Within this paddy field. According to the ancient chronicles, I mean, especially Mahavansa says Kammakaragama. Maybe you're aware of that. Kammakaragama. Kamma means Kamma or Kammakara, relate with the craftsmanship, skilled labor, or specific craft person. Grama means village, so that means craft village. So it can be. So after that I just think, but how can you say like this way? So I just use modern technology. It's not a big thing, but asking from the AI, can you make a small drawing for this? So this is just like that. I will show you that. It's not Sri Lankan context, but I mean, just maybe just like this, because in this area, very close to each other, there is this furnace situated around there. So this should be a mass scale bead production. So we would say this as a Kammakaragama. And here, maybe you're aware of this digital elevation. Just make, actually this red color ones are excavated in 2024, 2025, but we have a lot, but we are not going to excavate more and more, because we don't need that now. We have enough evidence. We have more evidence. So I'm not going to continue excavation over here. According to the exploration, we identified some area with high concentration of potsherds as well. Actually, here, within this area, we found, when we did our exploration, the agglomeration of potsherds is very high in this area. So we had a problem at that time. Why is that? Because beads, yes, okay. Why potsherds? Much there. So basically, at this time, we use some archaeological technology for this type of places. So we did something systematic survey with this area. We clean the area, we select some area, clean, and put a grid over there. And systematically, we collect the all surface material and count all the things, especially potsherds, because we want to know that the agglomeration and the distribution patterns of the potsherds and the beads on the surface. So after making a proper grid, we numbered all the grid and count all surface potsherds and other artifacts. This area covers like 8 by 14 meter, not a huge area. 1 meter 1. So these are the artifacts we found from the surface. And here you can see, actually we did the trend surface analysis. So according to that, the agglomeration and the distribution of potsherds around here, concentration is high. Not only that, because this is it can be, we don't need computer simulation for this. When we see that, we can recognize. But we did some geophysical survey as well over this area. So we found some interesting things around here and here. So actually, before start this, I thought the people who make these beads and the pots, where are they lived? So we need that information. I mean, I'm talking about a settlement. So that's why we select this place, because of the potsherds and the beads. So we did the geophysical survey, and because of this evidence, we start to dig that place, did a trench, small trench, and fortunately we found foundation, house foundation here. These are the post holes over here. This is actually 1 by 4 meter, small trench. Interestingly, not only this, we found huge amount of beads, huge amount of beads and potsherds over there, here. The thing is, these potsherds usually used for not for the daily use, not relate with that. These potsherds used for the commercial purposes, or their production purposes, not for the day-to-day eating or something like that, because we can get it from the shapes of the potsherds. And here, too much beads. But we can't find any furnace over there. Just we found that small house floor. I'm not going to say it as a house floor because we don't have much evidence for that, but structure there, definitely show that kind of structure. Now we have a lot of questions. um, in 2024, when we first excavated the furnace, the previous one here, we had some question about it, especially what have they done using this furnace size, I mean the size of the furnace. Additionally, material culture. Materials obtained from the furnace are primarily used in glass production, not making for beads, I said before. So our hypothesis was this could be a primary furnace. Fortunately, when we start 2025, we start again. This year, we start another excavation. So we found another furnace, but totally different one. And this is not big, small one. Very nearby, that big one. At that time, I asked one of my friends can you draw this? He made this. His imagination, just like this, because we had kind of experience when we compare with India. Even now, they produce beads, just the furnace, just like this very small one they use. So fortunately, we found this. It's very tiny, very. Not only that, we found a lot of artifacts from this area, pottery, and especially glass frit, small part. Here you can see. Here. We realized it was correct, and there is another type of furnace too. It is a secondary furnace. We call it as a secondary furnace. Why we say that? The purpose is different. They used, I'll show you here. They used melt the glass and produce the beads here. First, they produce the glass, huge size of lumps maybe, and take it to this place and cut and melt it, then produce the beads. Actually, even in India nowadays also they're doing just like that, but the architecture and the shapes of the furnaces totally different when we compare with India. But now we have enough evidence. Actually, this type of beads, we call it Indo-Pacific beads. Very simple bead made this. We couldn't find a lot of different types of beads here, just only this type of one. So first they make tubes just like this. You can see here, the big tubes. After that, they cut and make a shapes and make a bead. This is the process of making this type of beads. And interestingly, this, I don't know the name for this, but this is glass. When they produce the tubes, they use maybe a kind of handle or something because of the heat. You can see, maybe you can see this. There is a small stick like the, how can I say, base. It's a kind of base of that tubia, the tube. Even in India, I read some articles on Indian ancient beads. They also found this type of small parts. So actually, it's why we can see this type of shards, the glass making process. Within that process, we can find this type of shards. And this is another one. This year we excavate another one. The shape is different, similar with the first one. same like that. So size also the same, very big. The thing is, we couldn't find beads. Very few amount of beads we found. We found a lot of glass like this, melted glass, some glass slugs. So, now we know the different furnaces are used for different purposes. We call them primary and secondary furnaces. Here you can see the difference, the architecture and the size, all are different. Material culture also different from this. So next I would like to give some attention for another aspect in the glass production. This is also very interesting. Actually, this is a LiDAR image. We did some LiDAR survey at that area this year. We found here, quartzite here, huge size quartzite nearby. They are like air distance like 250 meters, very nearby. This is the site over here. For the glass bead production, mainly need 3 components. Maybe you know, maybe not. Namely I can say that 3 components are silica, soda and lime. Even now they need these things when they produce glass. So silica we can easily find from this area, because quartz, after make a powder like glass, they can use as a silica. So it is very nearby here within this area. We found it. So you can see here. See, these all are quartz veins within the granite rock. Lot. Even now when you go there, you can see that huge amount of quartz you can find. Another thing is lime. Actually, when we talk with the peoples around that area, they use one word for this area. They said, I'll show you that. Lunupitia. This is actually here one of the ancient tank nearby that this area. The people say Lunupitia, and they said they can't harvesting at that area because of this lime. So easily can get that with lime from the earth. Another thing is this. We call aluhunu, calcium carbonate, I think. So here very easily can find. So 3 materials very easily get. So that's why the people select this place for the make this type of furnaces. And when we talk about the production, I'm not going to more things about the production because we don't have much evidence. Still we need more evidence what type of production do they did. I mean, because we still need to focus our attention for the scientific analysis, I mean for the beads and other materials. So I'm not going to talk more about that, but according to the archaeological evidence, the roots, when we talk about the production, we actually thought that most of the time beads came from outside of the country. It's usually, that's why we said Indo-Pacific beads. Still we use that name. But now we have to rethink about it. We already know about our ancient root network. Maybe you know that. In early historic times, the country functioned through three main ports, namely Manthai over here, Jambukolapatana, Jaffna, here, Wokanathi, Trinco. Archaeological evidence confirms that capital Anuradhapura had direct connection with these three main ports. Another point is that the distance from the Pabalugala to Anuradhapura, it's very, very short, quite short, around 40 kilometers. Therefore, this large-scale bead production could have easily been exported through the main ports during the early historic periods. And we know that when we talk about the ancient roads network in Sri Lanka, it easily can connect with this area. If I conclude this, according to the facts discovered in the excavation in the Pabalugala, can be identified as a major glass bead production site in the historical period of Sri Lanka. Not only that, the site could be one of the main glass bead production site in the South Asian region. I'm not going to say it exactly because we need more evidence, but we have to rethink about our past, because the thing is, we have a lot of evidence for iron technology and lot of technology, but we don't have much evidence about the glass technology and the glass beads in our history. So we have to rethink about that. And here, actually, now we know about the archaeological extent about the site, also identified the settlement as well. We know the timeline, but we still need to identify the technological process, of the glass bead production in ancient Sri Lanka. We need more evidence for that. So I hope in the future, maybe in the next year, we can get more and more evidence for that. So another thing is we need more concentration on the techniques, melting technology, molding, color, especially coloring, how they produce the colors. So we need to know more about that. But still we don't have much evidence to prove that. Actually, now we are in the post-analysis period, so the analysis now going on. Maybe after 2-3 months, we can get more details for this. So we are waiting that. At the meantime, I just reproduce this furnace. So you can see that. This is the same place, not another place. The same exact place. I gave some evidence for the AI technology, and it produced this type of furnace. These are real here. I'll show you that again. This one. This is the original one. Here. Actually, the shape is not like the previous one. Shape is like a U shape. So maybe this is not correct, but I've just tried to get kind of idea behind that, because we need more, because we don't have that type of experience before. So that's why I tried to do this. And if you want, I can show you one. I did some 3D model as well, but later I will show you it. And apart from that, we strongly believe these ancient monuments and the heritage do not belong to us. It's not our treasure. Most of archaeologists, most of researchers try to figure it out, make a landmarks in some places. This belongs to me. Pabalugala, it belongs to Mangala. This one, this area, okay. No, it's not like that. I'm not believe that. I'm not arguing that type of things. I mean, I had that experience before. That's why I say like this way. So actually, this belongs to the people. Therefore, our responsibility is to protect the heritage and share all knowledge with the people. Hence, we did an awareness program for the school children and the local people, especially for the local peoples, because you can see here, some are destroyed that place before, but now they work with us. Now they realize it's not it's not a valuable like a gold or gems. So it has a historical value. So now they protect this place, because sometimes I got a call from the villages, sir, someone came here and asking something, maybe can you call to the police? Just like that. So I'm so happy, because I think this is the heritage management. Heritage management not in this type of forum. I mean, most of times, heritage and archaeology play in this type of place, just only this type of place. But I think, personally, I believe it should be goes to the people and the real world. So now I have strong feeling about the peoples. They are not harmed to this place. They are not. They are protecting this place. Actually, this time we invited more than 500. More than 500 students, all around the students, like a zonal level. And the people also came. I said to them, this is not our treasure, this is your treasure. If you protect this, you can get more and more things. People can visit this place, and you can, maybe in the future, you can produce the beads like that, and you can sell it to the people. So this is the way. So I'm thinking very positively about this place, but I don't know in the future what will happen. But yeah, I think in the future, if we can make site museum there, it should be a really, really good. So my target is just like that, but let's see. We don't know exactly. But actually, before finish my presentation, I would like to thank my all team members and the villagers and Sichuan University. They collaborate with us. So you can see that the one furnace. Yes, I think I'm almost done, but before I'd like to show you one 3D modeling using, because it should be good for, yeah. Oh, oh. Okay. So I did a 3D model for one furnace. See, there are more evidence, like I'm still not going to talk about that type of things because we are still working on that. Maybe in the future we can talk about that. So I will stop here. Maybe you have questions. Please. If you have a question, please.
Hello. How did they color the beads? How did we get the blues and all the colors? The
Yeah.
blue especially difficult to know?
Yeah, that's why I before mentioned that, because in ancient times, like we got a lot of evidence from India. Actually, they use some materials like metal and manganese and too many things they use for the make colors, but we don't have much evidence for prove that how they produce, how they make colors, but definitely sure they use natural things, maybe something from their vicinity. So thing is, we still need more evidence to say exactly what are the things.
Professor, thank you for that very informative lecture. One thing that I would like to ask from you is that site is so extensive. We have found multiple types of furnaces, and according to the LiDAR, there's even more. So the industry is extensive. What sort of evidence of commerce do we find there? Does it support that this has been an internationally known site? Has there been any evidence to suggest that there have been commerce linking the site to far-flung places, or any infrastructure such as a road linking the site to the capital, etc.? Has there been any evidence of commerce and logistics and activity of that nature?
Yeah, same thing, like actually like inscriptions and other things, but still we don't have much evidence. But we sure that because we don't need direct reason for that, I mean evidence, especially in archaeology, we can compare with other things, like, because when we talk about the vicinity of the area nearby, there is one monastic site, very big one, I didn't remember the name. Hattikuchi. It's a big monastic complex, very nearby there, and I try to figure it out. I mean, the get more details from the inscription from that place, but still not. Another thing is Manthai. I have a good answer when we talk about the Manthai, because 2018 we did excavation in Manthai. And one of the students did the masters in China, And her research related with the beads from the Manthai. So she tried to compare with that beads and the Pabalugala beads. The mineral content same. We are still not published that, but we need more details. So I think it's one answer for your question. I mean, so Manta is, I think it's a main, actually it's an emporium. We call it as an emporium. So, because at that time we found a lot of beads there. So that's why the Chinese people also came with me to dig at Pabalugala. So I think in the future we can get more details for that.
Thank you. One more follow-up question. You mentioned that sources of raw material were also found nearby and that the site was occupied for about 3 centuries according to the carbon dating. So could it be that they abandoned the site, the production, after they ran out of nearby raw materials that they have not imported from far
Good question.
places?
Actually, why it's not continuous information if we talk about the iron technology in Sri Lanka, even in the Kandyan period. Thing is, how can I say it? Personally, I believe, I'm not sure about, still we need more evidence. Maybe the craftsmanship came from India. I think, I guess, maybe come from the India, because in 6th century BC, we found beads from the furnaces, especially in Ibankatua. So it belongs to 6th century BC. But this one is 2 to 5th. So maybe at that time, firstly introduced by the people who came from the India, then maybe due to another reason, I'm not going to say that exactly because it's not a place to, the time to say that, because when I researched at that area, I found some Tamil peoples lived there. But when the voice come, the peoples live from that area. This is just only very, very small clue. I'm not going to say it as exactly. Maybe the craftsmen, the skilled peoples live from the country or live from the other place. Because of that, they not continuing after that. But we got another carbon samples, the charcoal samples in this year as well. We need to get more dates. After that, we can say something about that. But that point, that small clue, don't take it as a serious, because we need more details for say like that. But I'm just thinking like that. Somehow in the history, somewhere they lost their craftsmanship. We don't know exactly why is that.
They had the monsoon steel which tried to get reproduced the actual steel.
Yes.
So have you tried anything like this to produce glass?
Okay, thank you. Temperature for the producing glass need 800 to 1200 level. But thing is, when the people who used silica need more temperature, made more than 1700 or something to melt. Due to that, they use flux. That's why they use lime and calcium carbonate. So they purposely reduce the temperature, like 800, because we did some experiment. We start from 400. We melt at 950, something like that, melt that glass. That's the only thing we did, but still need to do. Yeah, another thing, wind pattern, right? When you say that the iron, it's really interesting. So that's why I say we need more details. Nowadays I'm working on that. Interesting.
Now, in the case of monsoon steel, they actually melted the glass using the ancient technology. Did you able to get up to 900 degrees using ancient technology?
Yes, yes.
That is, what did you use to do that melting?
Yeah, especially when we talk about the iron technologies, like Dr. Jill Joliffe did that reconstruction thing, and she did it for using iron technology. Actually, she said that we use monsoon pattern, wind pattern. So actually, we are also trying to dealing with that as well, because we got nice orientation patterns of the furnaces. So actually now we are working on that. That's why I'm not mentioned here. So you can see this here. We call it fire mouth. So that's why they use the stone as well. We excavated now 6 furnaces. All the direction of the fire mouth in northeast. Same, exactly same. So actually now I am working on one article, so I'm not going to talk more about that, but exactly same. And we got some wind pattern data, 80 years, just like 80 years. So yes, actually according to that evidence, it's seasonal. They did this seasonal because within the year, if they use this fire, I mean, it's hard work. I mean, very, very hard, because around 1000 centigrade, they need that much temperature. So they have to protect that temperature and continuously need that. Otherwise, the technology, the making glass or making beads, hard. So continuous presentation, same level. They need to continue that way. So that's why we are still working on that. Maybe they use it seasonal. For
is it a high elevation?
No, not high elevation, that area, like 80 meters, 7.
Not like the monsoon steel which was...
No, not like that, not like that. Actually, I have some evidence from India. One of my colleague, I talked with him. He said, when I talked with him, he said, for this type of furnace, because of this architecture and the size, no need more wind for this, like melting iron. So he's not accept that. No, it's not related with wind pattern. But I'm sure. I have good confidence. So I still need to work on that. Maybe in the future we can say more things about that. Yes. Actually, so Yes, different. The types are different and the size also different, but the same one, I mean, if I these different shapes and different usage. So the first one is, it's a big one. The here diameter like
Is it
2.5
meters?
Yes, but oh, sorry. Where are they? This one, not big. It's like here diameter is 1.5 meter. No, 1 meter, not 1.5. It's very small, very tiny one. And they can work very nearby there. I mean, they sit there and work like that. That's why I just like this. And here we believe that not having much temperature, they can work nearby here. But here, due to the size and the materials we found, it will be a huge fire because they produce the glass. And we have this type of 3 furnaces like this size, this shape, exactly the same size, and the orientation also the same.
Orientation of the air cones also the same?
Yes, same. Yes.
Hello. Have you had any evidence of glass rods? Because when you make a bead, say on a desktop, you would take a glass rod and then you'll twirl it to create the bead.
Yes. Yeah, I'll show it to you. Okay. Small parts, not the big one. Here.
Those are small.
Yeah, it's.
Yes,
Yeah,
but typically
broken.
you'd have much
No,
longer ones.
not the big one. It's hard to preserve like that this much size because of the time period and the all the other things.
Yes. So
Yeah.
would you think that the big furnaces were used to make the glass rods, perhaps, and then the smaller
Not for
ones
the
to
rods.
create the beads?
Rods also produced by that small one. They use this iron stick and make up beads, and for the tubes, even in India, they use two tools over like this way and make just like stick this way and make a tube with the air bubble.
You have not discovered any instruments of the
No, not at all. No. Actually, when for the three furnaces, because it's not disturbed by the treasure hunters. But the thing is, it's also very interesting. See here, after finish the excavation, the bottom just like this. So that means they not put, I mean, if they work that time, I mean, we need charcoal, thick layer, but we found some charcoal. But thing is, after remove the soil, it's empty. It's another interesting thing we don't know. Maybe they abandoned the place. We don't know exactly. Yes.
Thank you very much, Professor, for that fascinating presentation. I'd like to first and foremost congratulate you on how you motivated the local communities and created awareness, because I think that's something that is needed all over Sri Lanka. And so I'd like to really thank you very much for that. And my question is now, one of the furnaces was a very large one. So apart from these beads, do you think they produce larger items of glassware?
No, madam. Actually, the thing is, we don't have evidence. We just only find this type of things. We found this pot shards from this, the small one. But big one, no. We only got the glass lumps and melted glass. That's the only thing we found. And bricks, because the dome collapsed. So we got a lot of bricks inside the furnace. We couldn't find any other special things. Ingots. Yeah. Yes, we believe that, because when you can see that from the pottery here, the inside of the pot, we can see glass like this. You can see that here. Not outer side. Maybe they put a glass just like what do you call the ingots. They produced the ingots and broke the pot. Maybe. So interesting thing is, inside of the pot, we found the glass. Yes, we believe that. But still need more things to say.
Did you find any points or anything?
No, not at all.
Professor, now regarding high temperature furnaces, you can't use regular brick, right? Because regular brick doesn't retain the temperatures. So now these bricks that you found, were they like fire bricks or?
Yes, fired.
So
Some are. You can see here, the color is different nearby here. And here, the red color. Due to the huge temperature.
Right.
Yeah, it's a fired one.
So you don't know what the composition of that brick is, right?
No.
I used to work in boilers, so we used to have
Yes.
these special bricks made out of special material.
Yes.
To be able to
Actually, here you can see this is not related with the furnace, this cut. You can see that here.
Yeah, right.
Actually, because after remove those top soil, we think how it built. I mean, actually, here you can see the wall just like this, and here is this is supporting wall for the furnace. That's why we cut here, and here we saw the foundation of the wall here. So another thing is, maybe they need continuous heat. So because of this thick layer, they can cover and make fire. They can protect the fire.
Right.
Yes.
In Sri Lanka, this glass bead technologies came from Indus Valley also, ne? About 1500 BC,
Yeah.
Indus Valley started
Yes.
doing glass beads. Earlier, faience bead was there, ne? Is that so? Sri Lanka got start to manufacture starting with the glass beads, maybe, not the faience beads.
No. Actually, from this place we only find the glass beads. And yes, you're correct. I think this industry, it has a long history. We talk even in India, 6th, 7th centuries. In China, 7th century, BC, something like that. But thing is, in this historical period in Sri Lanka, we have a lot of readings, I mean, lot of inscriptions and chronicles, lot of things. But why they not mention this? So this is continuously, because after 7th century or 8th century, why they stopped? We don't know exactly. But that's why I say in 3rd, 6th century, in Nebbankatuwa and other burial sites, we found glass beads. I think we don't know much, at that time we don't know much about the glass production. So it's just like other skills, I mean other craftsmanships also came India from India. So, but someone can argue, no, we also can produce these things. The thing is, we don't have much evidence for that. That's the main problem.
By 15th century BC, in Indus Valley, it was a vibrant industry.
Yes, it's an industry. Yes,
yeah.
yes, it is.
Before that, faience also were a big industry.
Yeah,
I think a lot of things found in Indus Valley.
Sorry?
Lot of archaeological things were found in Indus Valley.
Yes.
Any more questions, please? Yeah. If there are no other questions?
Are there any questions online?
Are there any questions online? Yeah, first you can. No. Okay. Right. So we can now conclude the session, and I wish to thank Professor Mangala Takkampidi on the account. The first one is for excavated and begin to light this Pabalugala iron technology, iron extraction technology associated with that village. I mean, with tiny hamlet of Girivava is hidden in the forest of Girivava. It's not intervened by Professor Pabalugala. So I'm thanking for that issue. And then I wish to thank him for making aware the community on the value of preserving this heritage technology. And third one is for enlightening the audience and the community about this industry and value. And then I like to wish the audience, especially for listening patiently and raising the question, enabling Professor Katanampite to reach the gap, whatever the thing during this lecture. And I wish to thank the National Trust enabling this presentation lecture as part of their commitment. Thank you very much. And in the meantime, it is my duty to appreciate the presence and then delivering this lecture by Professor Katanampite by doing small token of appreciation on behalf of the National Trust of Sri Lanka. And then conclude the session, and we wish to inform you that as a refreshment, just outside this hall, please enjoy the refreshment. Thank you very much for attending the session. you very much, Professor. It's a very enlightening lecture.
Thank you for giving this.